opportunity to introduce you to my lovely co-MC this evening. He's the owner of Transcontinental Express Chippers. He's, did I say Casey, old boy? Philanthropist, sponsor of, I know the Calabar people are here, so sponsor of Team Jamaica Bickle, radio host and a friend. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob D'Souza.
And I'll do likewise. And Sharon Gordon happens to be a very good friend of mine. She happens to be the president of TSO Production, the co-founder of the Coalition to Preserve Reggae Music, and does give wonderful, wonderful concert each and every year, and I do participate. She's a motivational speaker and a very good friend of mine as well. She'll be my co-host this evening. And let me say welcome to each and every one. At this time, I am going to call upon a very good friend of mine also, the bishop in charge of the Freedom Hall Church inside of Brooklyn, to do the invocation. Bishop, the Reverend Cecil Bible.
Father, we come in the name of Jesus, understanding that this is the day that thou hast made. We have decided to rejoice and be glad in it. What a wonderful day it is. We are alive and we are well. And there's an open entrance that we can come and say, Abba, Father. Thank you for this evening. We have gathered. It's a special day in our hearts and lives. First of all, we thank you for Brother Irwin Clare. Thank you for his obedience to go in when you say go and to lead us thus far. Thank you for all the sponsors that are here. He could not have done it alone. And we are gathered here this evening to honor a special brother in our midst. And my God, for too long we have been doing this after they pass. But we thank you that we can do it today. Bless everything, bless everyone this evening, oh God, and speak to our hearts. Help us to understand that this is a good cause. And you're always telling us about sowing and reaping, seed time and harvest. When we let go of what is in our hands, you let go of what's in your hands. Bless whatever will be said, bless whatever will be done. And we promise, Lord, we'll come back and give your name the praise. We'll give you the honor, and we'll give you the glory. And in agreement we say, Amen. Amen.
Let me just introduce him right away and ask him to come to the podium to give a remark. The Consul General of Jamaica to New York, Mr. Herman G.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you very much. This evening is so great that we have two masters of ceremonies. I'm not sure of the correct term for the mistress and master of ceremonies. Mr. Bob D'Souza and Ms. Sharon Gordon. We have Dr. Dennis Johnson, our honoree this evening, who is Order of Distinction of the Commander class. And tonight you will hear more about him as others speak, others who are more competent to speak of this gentleman. You can tell that I am not an athlete, although I have heard other people boasting here tonight, like our good Assemblyman Dick Perry, who is challenging the honoree to a race, knowing full well he wouldn't take him on tonight, not tonight. But then again, Dr. Johnson, let me assure you that Assemblyman Dick Perry is probably the best runner in here. He has run many elections. I have left in the middle the main man of this organization here, Mr. Irwin Clare Sr., OD. Now we have Team Jamaica Bickle, started 20 years ago, and has been doing this consistently without fail. Thank you all for coming out to support Team Jamaica Bickle. The work they do is very important, and you know it, and that's why you join to help them. I I am only too pleased to lend my name tonight to tonight's event. And when I saw that it was honoring a gentleman who I've already heard about but never met, I said, you know, it's worthwhile putting in a presence and lending my name to this occasion. I'm telling you that athletes are sometimes our best representatives, because the way they conduct themselves on the track or in the fields and the way they behave outside of that are very crucial, and it takes discipline. From one of the most disciplined group of persons, I would say, next to musicians. You have to be disciplined to get things right. And if we were to sometimes just emulate small portions of your discipline, we all would do better in our personal life. I am pleased to see you here, and I know you will support Team Jamaica Bickle as you have done over the years. This year, 10 relays, they celebrate 50 years since we have been participating. It's a special time for Team Jamaica Bickle to be doing the things they're doing. They started off with more than one or so church services, and I suppose at the end of it they'll have even a dance too. But they are doing a lot of stuff, and even if you notice how they creatively adorn the walkway to come down. The signal is, it's all about track, all about track. And Jamaica has done well, and even doing better over the years. People ask me all the time, how do you do it? Do you have a factory? What's going on? And I can only say, it has always been good at this event, at these things, athletics. But I think we got better when we created J.C. Foster. And I think I saw some members from J.C. Foster around here earlier. We started to get better because we started to recognize that the key to success is good coaching. Good coaching. And, you know, we've had some real star athletes going way back from the days when they ruffled the feathers of a certain gentleman down in Berlin. And we haven't stopped since. Dr. Johnson, I gather you have had your share in those activities. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome you here again, and hope tonight's event will be to your satisfaction. And that when we say we truly honor you and you will be inducted, you will fully understand that we are sincere and we respect all that you have done to bring the sport into Jamaica, and particularly now I gather you become a golden person at UTEC. UTEC is special in a number of ways. You've produced good athletes, disciplined athletes, and you've kept Jamaica's flag flying high. Our Caribbean folks are also benefiting and are showing their presence here this evening and continue to work. Some people have been working with Team Jamaica Bickle from shortly after they were formed. And it speaks to the one other item outside of West Indian cricket, which probably isn't doing too well these days, that works well. Team Jamaica Bickle has always been all-embracing. And they've always carried the name Team Jamaica Bickle, but it means Team World. Because not only do they cater to Caribbean youngsters in general, they cater to even our host country athletes who sometimes come over to sample the nice cuisine from the beautiful Isle of Jamaica. I'm sure our Caribbean colleagues here won't have a problem with that. Miss David herself, although not born in Jamaica, was quite a good presence in Jamaica for a while, and she loved Jamaica so much she likes to be with us all the time. And if you notice, if you listen to Antiguans and you listen to Montserratian and some sections of Tobago, there's a reason why they all sound like us. God bless us all. Thank you.
this time we're going to ask out of Philadelphia, the co-chair Team Jamaica Bickle in Philadelphia, Ms. Carleen Bowen, to give a remark.
On behalf of my co-chair, Mr. Brian Gordon, and the Philadelphia Organizing Committee, I bring you greetings from the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, as we know. We are in the home stretch of preparing for our athletes, our ambassadors, who begin their journey to us next week. This year, for our community forum, we will be welcoming the Jamaica Stock Exchange. So if you are in Philadelphia on Thursday the 24th, we do ask you to come out and you can get information on that. Thank you once again, keeping it real short. And we look forward to seeing you at Franklin Field, where we will paint the stands black, gold, and green. Thank you.
So our next statement comes from someone who is a pioneer of sorts. Clyde Walters is one of the first graduates from G.C. Foster College, and he runs an athletic program, I believe, that is doing exceptionally well. And he's going to be coming to make a statement. Please put your hands together for Clyde Walters.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And a pioneer student from G.C. Foster College. And seeing the great DJ sit in front of me. Remind me of the days where myself and Mr. Al Phillips used to have that great rivalry. G.C. Foster was the baby then, and Cass, or UTEC, was the great giant, and we had a great rivalry. It was fun, but it was exciting. Great to see you again, Doctor. My role tonight also is to speak about the impact of Jamaica Bickle. I represented the Coaches Association in Jamaica for a number of years, and we used to come to pen relays and to a cold and sometimes hungry situation. And the first year, I think it was 1994, if I remember certain right, when we arrived at the stadium and we were offered a hot cup of something and a cold patty. Then it was the greatest feeling that we had as coaches, and we spoke about it and we talked. That was the highlight of pen relays. Even though we won most of the championship in the high school section, the big thing to talk about was getting that hot cup of chocolate, tea, or that patty. And knowing that Jamaica Bickle is there, and for 20 years now, please give them a big round of applause. Also, being a pioneer student of G.C. Foster, Team Jamaica Bickle stepped it up a notch. They have made so far approximately 30,000 contributions to G.C. Foster, so I need to give them a round of applause for that also. So they're much more than just offering a hot meal, amenities, transportation, accommodation, everything. To all the volunteers, to all the sponsors, and like I said, I look around, I see the deep pocket also. Please continue to support Team Jamaica Bickle. To the volunteers, we thank you 1,000 times over, and we hope that the organization continue to grow for the next 50 years. Thank you.
I'm going to ask you to stand to your feet.
All right.
Put your hands together and make some noise for this brother, because without vision, people perish, okay? And his vision has caused us to be in the position we're in right now. Put your hands together for Erwin Clare Sr. as he comes to the podium. Thank you.
master and mistress of ceremonies, distinguished guests, I crave the indulgence that we extend and we say all protocols observed, with two exceptions. And one is my brother from Africa, from Botswana. Welcome, sir. It's always great to have you. And the other, our guest of honor, because the reason why we're here this afternoon and are so elated and honored is because of something that this man did several years ago, but even more importantly, what he continues to do. And I wish to share with the audience, Doctor, something that former Prime Minister Addison said about you. I gotta tell it. Basically said that great man on the track. But what is even more important about this man is the work he has done since he's been off the track. And he compared you to the likes of Herb McKinley. And then he said the reason why he's so motivated is because he's like a boasted man. He's like a boasted man. I didn't say that. Honorable PJ Patterson said that. Boasted meaning show off. But you see, and he said that he had to back it up. And that's why he had to win. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our communities here in these United States, we are extremely honored to have you in our presence, sir. And as we celebrate 20 years of continuous service, no other fitting person than you. This is the first year we are having this event where we have only recognized one person. Because we say it's one person past the finish line. Although in a video someplace you talk about 3 persons winning. You'll hear more about that shortly. But this time around, you are the winner. It's about you. Ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Hossain, I've always said is, and he would have been here tonight, and apologies for him, but he's not a partner, he's not a sponsor, he's a partner. He's a partner because for the past 20 years, he has been with us from Jump Street. And it's not a matter where he delegates. There are times we have to remind him that, let somebody else do that. Let somebody else wash the pot. We have somebody can wash the pot here. You don't have to do that. But he's committed like that. And I say on record right now that when the words are changed in a dictionary and the term explanation for philanthropy is changed and will be changed, in that context, you'll find Vincent Hossain. I have the privilege of Sabrina here, and Vincent has said this on more than one occasion. In fact, he has said it at an Observer editorial board meeting that, the reason why I take Sabrina to Jamaica with me at Champs is because I want her to understand, because she has to carry this thing on. When I heard that at the Observer, I said, yes, deal is seated. So, Sabrina, I thank you very much for the support.
Thank you.
The microphone is yours.
Good evening, everyone. As Irwin said, my dad was supposed to speak, but we had a little emergency at work. One of the ovens caught on fire. Luckily that the fire was contained within the oven, and we have everything under control, so don't worry. You'll have your patties at the pet relays. And if you do see us on News 12 tonight, that's why. So 20 years ago, I was 15 years old, and I've been involved since then. I remember going to school in Pennsylvania. I went to Villanova University, and I used to take the train to help out. So, I was never excused, even though I was in school. I was going on my breaks and just taking time off from school to help out at Penn Relay. And it's just such an experience, just seeing us grow from there to, just a little truck to now like a full-fledged restaurant. So I think it's just, it's wonderful with all of your support that has made that possible. And as Irwin said too, it was my first time going to Champs this year. And it was such an experience. As they say, when you hear the horn, you know you're in Jamaica. Just like when I hear Miss Chin, I know I'm in Jamaica. But yeah, so despite of what was happening today, all week our chef has been cooking, you know, the rice and peas. I hope you guys ate, because I'm going to talk about food. We made the brown stew chicken and the fish and the fried fish, everything that you want. You know, all the athletes like the food, so you know, we've been working hard all week, just, you know, making all the food for them, preparing for next week. And also, I'm proud to announce that Sabrina's Delights will be there too. We have plantain tarts. Plantain tarts. For those of you that don't know what Sabrina's Delights is, it's a new line of products that came out a year ago, and it was named after me, of course. I was actually the brainchild after it. We have chicken pot pie was the first flavor. Then we had turkey, beef, and also the apple cinnamon, peach cobbler, guava, mango, plantain. So it's a puff pastry item, and it's being sold all over now. And actually, the 3 cheese is being sold in Jamaica, Price Mart, which will be coming soon. I know it's really hard to say, but one day my dad is going to step down. And I know you guys are going to miss him, but it's big shoes to fill, and I'll be in charge. One of the things that I know that has been a concern is that the next generation, I know you guys are worried about the next generation, and we have so many great organizations that has started, such as Team Jamaica Bickle, and you know, and you're worried that it's not going to be continued. And I do want to be a part of that project to help the youth continue these wonderful organizations. And of course, with Team Jamaica Bickle, I'm going to assure you that we will continue to be a part of this great organization. But that will not happen until, if we don't get your support, your continued support, because you are the ones who are making this happen. You have to realize that your support really makes this happen. And over the past 36 years, Royal Caribbean Bakery, Caribbean Food Delights, Your Cuisine, the Vincent Hossain Family Foundation would not exist without your support. And I always say the greatest gift that you can give someone is of yourself. And of course, we welcome money too. But yes, it's always great to give of yourself, and we've been doing that for years, and my family has always believed in that, giving back and helping others. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at
Quickly, 50 years, 20 years Team Jamaica Bickle, what does that mean? We try to raise the bar every year. We do something to improve. I have the privilege of working with one of the most conscientious and fantastic core group of volunteers. And I want to take this opportunity right now to ask you kindly to clap loud for my volunteers, because I'm the worstest taskmaster. But we have some fantastic people who give of themselves to do so. With that being said, as I told you, raising the bar, one of the things that we're doing this year, and I'm pleased, and folks from UTEC, we'll take credit for this. Right after the youngster from Mr. Mackenzie from St. Jago lost his life representing Jamaica at a cross-county meet in Trinidad and Tobago, the decision was taken that this year at our Team Jamaica Bickle, because for the past 10 years we have had some of the best chiropractic care at Team Jamaica Bickle for our athletes. Gentlemen from Canada, non-Jamaicans who volunteer every year come down to help our athletes. Whereas we have medical services on call. This year, ladies and gentlemen, because right here in the diaspora we have some of the best healthcare professionals in the world who are Caribbean people, we have reached out to the Nurses Group of New York, the Caribbean Nurses Association, Dr. Williams, Dwight Williams, dentist, several doctors, and we have put together a conglomerate of some of our best medical and dental professions. And this year at Team Jamaica Bickle, we will have a dental and medical pavilion on site for all athletes. So I want to take time out and thank our medical fraternity for participating with us. And if you notice, and this is fact, because we're out there talking about it, so I'm glad to see that in Jamaica now, before the athletes go represented, an organization has stepped up and says what? They're going to make sure they check their hearts before they leave. I'm happy about that. Why? Because right here in the diaspora, we can stay here and influence change at home. Alright? So we should be proud of that. Because what it has now said is that our voices are being heard. But at the same token, we do recognize that if we have the opportunities here to provide service of the sort, we should do so. So again, kudos to our healthcare personnel, and of course we have in our midst here one of the world's renowned doctor, OBGYN, among other things, Dr. Philibert. Welcome, sir. We have Claudia Powell and her group here as well. Thank you very much. We have a short video here, and I hope it's ready.
Jamaica, Caribbean, or athletes. 20 years ago, a movement sprung, an idea born out of a desire to serve. The idea, which became a labor of love, was Team Jamaica Bickle, conceived by Irvin Clare Sr. and given a great kickstart by many, including some of you in the room today. Over the years, the program has grown from strength to strength. It's been 20 years of unbroken service for athletes and ambassadors, focusing on core services designed to make their stay at the Penderleys a comfortable one. Jamaica Bickle Village is the hub for all Team Jamaica Bickle activities at the Penderleys Carnival, a home away from home. Everyone congregates at the Bickle Village, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. The provision of meals is one that the Team Jamaica Bickle team is proud of. The centerpiece of all Team Jamaica Bickle's activities at Penn. Athletes are served a sumptuous fare each day, consisting largely of Jamaican food they know and love. Ackee and saltfish, halibut, jerk chicken, fish, curry-goat, banana, hard dough bread, yam are all on the menu. Roti and other Caribbean foods have been added to the menu in recent years as the tent becomes more Caribbean. The Team Jamaica Bickle Village is also the social center, the medical outpost and physical therapy center, and one of the focal points of contact with the audience for Team Jamaica Bickle corporate sponsors. It is where national pride reigns supreme, as fans gather to revel in the exploits of our talented athletes and to cheer on their countrymen. It is a carnival-like atmosphere where patriotism and love of country tower above all attractive fields. We meet and greet athletes at the airport on arrival, provide continuous daily shuttle service with University of Pennsylvania Thursday through Saturday, and ensure their safe departure. We negotiate significant per-night rates, provide subsidies to some routes where needed, and offer a secure, safe environment for the athletes. The highlights have been many. In 1999, Team Jamaica Bickle became a participating sponsor, resulting in the Jamaican flag being the first foreign flag flown at the Penderleys. Visited the Penderleys in 2002 in her capacity as Minister of Sport, the first foreign minister of government to do so, and again as Prime Minister in 2012 to commemorate Jamaica's 50th anniversary of independence, again a first for a head of state. We've hosted several ministers of government, ambassadors, and other dignitaries. The Honourable Seymour Fatimali, former Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honourable Olivia Baxi-Grange, former Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honourable Audrey Moss, former Ambassador of Jamaica. Every year, we honour those who contributed to the development of sport both on and off the track. Among them, Olympian Donald Quarry, OD, Olympian Grace Jackson, OD, Olympian Sandy Richards, Olympian Bertrand Cameron, OD, Olympian Dion Hemmings, OD, Johnson. For his steadfast support as founding partners. Through his brands, Royal Caribbean Bakery and Caribbean Food Delights, he has anchored our nutrition program. Personally, I'm overjoyed to do today, irrespective of the rain we have it, but I was supposed to be away this week, and it would really bother me to know that I'm away. And the students in that, they would have been fed, no question about that, because we're going to make sure that they're fed. But it's such a joy to know that we're still here and we give them what they like, the fish, the jerk chicken, the oxtail, curry goat, rice and peas and all that, what they're accustomed to. Vincent is hands-on, whether loading up and driving the truck from Tappan to Philly or keeping busy in the kitchen, he's always working. Our sponsors have made all we do possible. Over the years, Grace Foods, Grace Kennedy Remittance Services, Western Union, Victoria Mutual Building Society, Capital Atlantic, Lomax Foundation, Tar Isle Packers, Digicel, Jamaica Tourist Board, the Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations, UJA, Lime, Jamaica National Building Society, Young Friends of Team Jamaica Bickle, Dennis Shipping, Transcontinental Shipping, The Door Restaurant and Super Wings, among others, have all helped to produce successful outcomes every year. The church community has provided strong support, and we worship with them in the weeks leading up to Penn. Lent Road Baptist and St. John's United Methodist are just two of those churches.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause to Durban Malcolm who voiced it, and the co-producer Andrew Daly, our PRO and marketing specialist. We've gotten to the point now where I need to tell you something about my friend, respectfully speaking. You can read all about him because we have him on Facebook all over the place. By the way, the amount of hits you get on Facebook these days, you have a whole lot of likes. You're okay. I also want to say this though, that when I went to Jamaica to speak to Mr. Johnson about what our plans were, he said I should come to his house for a few minutes, you know. Don't believe him. I didn't tell him about coming to his house a few minutes, it's not true. I went up there, I ended up having breakfast. The man almost came for lunch. I said, no, I have to go. He said, come back tomorrow. When I went back tomorrow, I made sure I had one foot in the car and one outside. I can't stay long. I ended up there half a day. The stories are captivating. The stories are captivating. And I hope and I pray, Devon, that like you who write books, that this story is being captured by us. Because it needs to be told to our children generations after. Placed fourth in the men's 4x100 yards in Tokyo Olympics 1964. The Commonwealth relay record holder, 39.4 seconds in 1964. The CAC bronze medalist in 1962. Equal world record, 100 yards 4 times, 9.3 seconds in 1961. Semi-finalist in the 220 yards in Rome Olympics 1960. Bronze medalist, Pan American Games 1959. Sprint champion, 220 yards, West Indies Games in 1958. And national high school sprint champion, because you know, high school business is probably sometimes more important than the Olympics. High school sprint champion in 1958. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the Sports Advisory Council at the University of Technology, the Honorable Dennis Johnson CD, Team Jamaica Bickle honors you today with the Pioneer Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we welcome the Honorable Dennis Johnson to the podium. May we ask the Council General to join us? CJ? We have a proclamation here from our distinguished Congresswoman who unfortunately should have been here, but she had a previous engagement. We have a proclamation here from the United States House of Representatives has been presented to you. There is a whole lot of whereas in here, but the most important whereas is this. You are a very outstanding servant of Jamaica, but more so, a global symbol that the United States recognizes and acknowledges your honors and respect. They say that there are moments, and this is one, a glad bar bus. So you have a few moments to say a few words.
Thank you very much. Madam Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Master of Ceremonies, my entourage, Dr. Giles, and Dr. Sutherland, special guests, and all other protocol observed. Let me especially welcome Mr. Botswana. I think Mr. Botswana is interested in developing some sprinters. Anyway, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank Mr. Kerr, especially for inviting me to receive this honors on this most auspicious occasion. I remember when I first got home to Jamaica after graduating from Stanford, I said to myself that we could develop our local sprinters right around international standards. And not too many people think that we can do that. And ladies and gentlemen, since 2006, these are some of the results you get, mainly from YouTube. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. And ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from a people. And I don't think too many people understand what Mr. Kerr understands so very well. You need to have a vision. And one needs to dream and to hope. And I am saying here tonight, sorry on the time, but for the next 50 years, the sprint belongs to Jamaica. Last championship, there was a little girl who was about 11 years old. She ran 11 for the 100 meters. There's nothing I could fix. That girl is going to be the #1 sprinter in a future age. If you were to visit Boys Champs and see the youngsters running, you cry. Form is good. And that was simply the message that came from a guy called Cognita, who actually died when they were inducted into the Hall of Fame in the United States. This guy is the father of sprinting, and I was fortunate enough to learn at his feet. This guy developed 33 of us, and we broke 300 world records in this race. I'm sorry I take it too long, but it's not a special yarn. Any hocus pocus, any special anything. Our visiting St. Thomas this evening. It is simply a method. You know, I will share something with you. When you look at a 100-meter race, I'm sure sometimes you say, why that guy come from the back, come from the back and run past everybody? You know where to say that? What you actually see is other people tying first. And you have an optical illusion because it's physiologically impossible to run any faster after 60 meters, after 6 seconds, that's it. So you have time to draw arrows before you get to the end of the race. This is deliberately done to relax. And so we have a methodology in Jamaica for sprinting. We believe in relaxation. And we spread the gospel all over the place. And the result is now here, and it's going to be here for a long time. In closing, I just want to say that Mr. Irwin Clear is the forerunner of some of the kind of support that Jamaica needs. And I'm saying to all of you, give the support. When you support Mr. Clear, you support the future champion of the world. So thank you again for your endeavors. Hope you continue, and I hope you get the response that you need. Thank you very much.